So now that we've seen what to report and how to report it in a storm situation, we'll just kind of run through an atypical event and just show how you might get yourself up to speed, and then we'll run all the way to the reporting stage that you're seeing the thunderstorm severe reports. So here's generally how it's supposed to work. Days out, you'll see an outlook possibly show up in our hazardous weather outlook. You'll see the Storm Prediction Center outlook, and then you want to just make sure you're ready for the particular event and make sure your shelter is ready. Hours before the event, you'll see a watch come out most likely. You'll just want to be monitoring conditions, checking the latest forecasts, things like that. Then minutes before the event, possibly you can already see a tornado or a severe thunderstorm on radar. You'll see some warnings pop out. Could also have a flash flood situation as well. Seconds before the hazardous situation occurs, you just want to act together and work together and take the right precautions and do the right things within the particular event. So 1 to 5 days beforehand, you'll want to go and get your outlooks at the Storm Prediction Center, and in our hazardous weather outlook, you can click on the real-time weather information on our SkyWarn weather page there, and one of those two links in the circled box will give you what you need to know. In the hazardous weather outlook, especially on day 1, you'll see text like this, and in this particular situation for the August 24th, 2016 event, we did have in there that there was a chance for showers and thunderstorms tonight. Locally heavy rainfall will be the main threat, with strong to locally severe thunderstorms being possible, and obviously we had a number of tornadoes that occurred that day, so it wasn't as strongly worded as it could be. There was still some uncertainty for the event, but it kind of outlaid at least some of the possible hazards that could occur. So for the Storm Prediction Center, they've got 5 categories now. This year they added the marginal as well as the enhanced categories, and we saw some of that, especially in 2017, some of the new categories being used. So here was the initial outlook on the morning of August 24th. You can see the marginal was all the way into our forecast area, northern Indiana, northwest Ohio, and southern Michigan. And then we were watching for the watch itself. So this basically says that atmospheric conditions were right for hazardous weather, that you want to take appropriate action when the warning is issued and if it's issued, and then you want to be closely monitoring the weather, whether it's through your local broadcast stations or through the internet and computer, just watching what we put out in our warning situations. So for the different watches that we have a severe thunderstorm watch. Those are mainly for damaging winds and large hail. We have a tornado watch as well for tornadoes, and they also include damaging winds and large hail. You'll see that as kind of a secondary hazard. And then we have a flash flood watch if we have a situation that generally leads to water flowing over roadways, a rapid life property, threatening rise in water. That's kind of more widespread, and you can see that days out. This is what you want to be watching for. So the initial watch came out like this across the forecast area. If a watch is issued, consider postponing the outdoor or canceling outdoor activities altogether. Stay tuned for updated weather information. You'll continue to see whether it's on social media or additional statements that come out for the warning itself or the watches. Continue to watch for that, and just be ready to report to the National Weather Service. Possibly turn on your radar, begin to watch for that, or just keep your eye tuned to the sky. Real-time weather links, you'll see the links below there again for any warnings and watches that come out, as well as a link to our map that shows where the warnings and watches are currently. Again, it's at that website up below. And also tune in to any of our social media accounts. We'll also put out if the event warrants a severe weather briefing, and you can tune to that on YouTube. And there was the initial watch again, 1 to 5 hours before the event.